Hey guys, how's it going? So today I got a new toy for the garage, and I'm gonna flip my camera around and show you guys. All right, so for Christmas, my wonderful wife purchased me the Harbor Freight 1,000 pound motorcycle lift. It is a hydraulic jack or hydraulic assembly. It is not a pneumatic one, but this is going to be perfect for what I need it for. This is the lift pretty much jacked all the way up right now. I got it yesterday for Christmas. Today is the day after Christmas. The lift I'm going to show you. So the lift comes with this standard just wheel chalk brace, but it's not very good. There's a ton of bad reviews on these, like this portion of the lift. It's just a very cheap component that Harbor Freight, decided to put this thing on there to save a little bit of money, probably during the manufacturing process. This is like the wheel stop that comes with it. And this is like the whole assembly. So basically the principle is you drive your bike into here, you tighten this down on the wheel and it should keep the bike pretty stable. But the problem is, unless you're using like a really, really small bike, like a dirt bike, or maybe in like some of these older Japanese or, German bikes where they're very light, maybe this will work. But for my two bikes, my Concourse and my Z900 RS, which I just have my covers on them right now, along with my Concourse bags, but I needed something a little bit more sturdy. So I went to Harbor Freight today and purchased their motorcycle wheel vise. This is basically a much better version of what is on the lift when you get it. It comes with all the hardware, the two L brackets that you'll be installing onto the lift, along with all of the bolts and nuts that you're going to need, along with the spring clip and the pin, the safety pin for the stop bar, which will stop you from pulling the bike too far off the lift. This is the little crank assembly. This is what's going to allow you to crank the bike down. That's going to be installed somewhere around these parts. But the nice thing is that this lift comes, or I'm sorry, this mounting, the chalk comes with a template where you can drill. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and we're going to go through the whole process. All right, so this is how the templates lay out. What it is, you have 3 holes that come with this jack or with the lift from the factory from Harbor Freight. They come with these templates with this wheel vise or chalk, whatever you want to call it. This side is going to be laid out like this. There's 2 different pieces of paper. These do have stickers on the back, so I'm going to stick them down here in a second. And then this one also has all your drill points. Now, the one thing to note is that you only need to drill 4 of these holes. So it's either going to be these 4 holes or these 4 holes. What they're for is if you're going to mount the jack further back or not. I'm going to put it as forward to the front as I possibly can. So I'm going to drill these 4 holes right here. And then, as you can see, this is the, where'd my piece go? This is the piece right here that is going to be mounted to the front. So it's going to sit like so, and then you're going to see you're going to have 4 holes left over. So don't drill those other 4 holes. I've seen people make that mistake online, and I can see how it can be very easy to do because they don't really necessarily make it clear. I mean, they kind of do in the directions, but not great. And then on this side, you are going to drill these 6 out. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. If you want to move it back, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So just make sure you only drill 6 out on this one and the 4 out on this specific template. If you do drill extra out, you're just going to have extra holes in your deck, which I'm trying to do this as clean as possible. So I'd rather not have extra holes I don't need. So I'm going to start to taping these down, and then we'll go from there. And one thing I do want to note too is that they do on here show, they don't really, like, if you just look at this, you're going to not look at any of these components and you're going to drill every single one hole of these. So they don't really have it marked clear. So if I were Harbor Freight, my recommendation is to change your instructions or make them a little clearer, because, if you come into this not watching any other videos, you might have some issues. So I'm going to tape these down. There are pieces of sticky tape on the 2 corners, and then there are 2 corners over here. When you're laying this down, you just want to make sure that all of those holes are lined up, which we are. And we're gonna sticker those down. So now we should be able to drill these 4 out, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. Okay, so we got all of these taped down. What I'm gonna do is I bought some stepper bits that I'm gonna use, but I'm actually going to drill pilot holes first before I use these stepper bits. Harbor Freight in the directions does recommend using a 1/2 inch drill, an actual bit. I did read some comments saying you don't have to do 1/2 inch, but we're gonna probably do close to 1/2 inch because these stepper bits I got, I could do 7/16 it looks like with this one. So maybe we'll try 7/16, see if that works. If not, then we'll just go to 1/2 inch. But I'm gonna go ahead and drill my pilot holes first. A little bit clearer for everyone, I just went and marked every single one we need to drill out, X'd out the ones that you do not need to drill. Again, if you are going to put this vise a little bit more back, you do need, it'd be these backs ones, and then you just wouldn't drill the front ones and drill these remaining 3. So I'm going to do a pilot hole on each one of these in the center of that black dot, and then we will move forward. Okay, so we drilled every single hole out with our pilot. Now I am going to move on to drilling my 1/2 inch holes. I will say, if you have the correct drill bit, this metal is not that difficult to get through. I mean, it's fairly thick, but got all my pilots drilled. So let's get them out to the right size now. All right, so all of our holes are drilled out. We have our 4 holes over here, and then we have our 6 holes on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna start mocking stuff up, getting stuff mounted, and I'll show you that whole process as well. All right, so I gotta flip this handle around, just comes off, I think looks like a 12 or 14 mil nut, but you can see all my holes are nice and lined up. Same thing with this side. My guess is they probably say drill 1/2 inch holes. That way, if you're just a tad off, you have a little bit of wiggle room to get this thing straight. Mine are pretty damn straight. I would say as best as you're gonna get. But I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling some things before I start bolting it down to the deck. All right, so this nut right here, this is a 18 millimeter socket. You just have to take this nut off, flip the handle around. So I have the nut off. There is a washer you want to take off and not drop. But there's a washer. It's slotted. So you just put it right back like that. Washer goes on top, nut's on, and then you tighten her down. All right, so how you bolt this down to the deck, you put your bolt directly through your hole, and then on the bottom side where you come through, you're gonna put your washer and then your nut, and that's gonna be the same for all the holes you're gonna fill. So I'm gonna go around and just drop all the bolts in, and then we'll come back with our washer and our nut. All right, so I have put all the bolts in. I put the washers and the nuts on. I haven't tightened anything down yet, but I am putting now these bolts in, which are one that holds the arms. There's 4 of these bolts in here. They are 14 millimeter bolts. So I'm just gonna go around, tighten these down, make sure they're all clean. They are definitely in a weird position. So I'm gonna tighten all these down. I'm going like a star pattern, that way make sure it pulls in correctly. And then I'll be back with you guys. All right, so we are all bolted up. Now this is the portion where you are going to adjust on your wheel. When you roll the bike up, tighten it up. This is gonna be placed about right here. Drive your bike up, and then you're gonna crank this down on the tire. I'm gonna finish tightening this side down, and then I'm gonna put all the bolts, nuts, and washers on this side, and then we'll try it out. All right, ladies and gents, it is on. It's all bolted down, all tightened. I can move the whole lift by it. It's straight, mounted up perfect. Last thing I gotta do is put this guy in there. I think it goes like this. I believe. Like that, I guess. So now that is in. This is the whole jack, or the whole lift and the wheel vise installed. I'm gonna have to put one of my bikes up here, see how it works. I'm gonna clean the table off first, but very nice. It seems decent quality. We'll see how it actually works and how it lasts, but you see, kind of tightens up like so. And then when you want to take the bike off, you just turn this handle over here. I think right there should be plenty to fit my motorcycle wheel in there. I'm going to try put my Z900 RS on there, but overall, pretty simple to install. Just remember drilling those holes, you know, kind of make sure that it doesn't mess up. I haven't put a bike on here yet because I got it yesterday and I wasn't even going to bother putting that aftermarket one on there. But I'll show you how it looks underneath with all of the bolts installed and tightened down. Pretty straightforward. I used, like I said, I used these this drill bit right here. It worked out perfect to drill those out. So that's probably what I would recommend doing. But overall, I'll show you guys once I get it cleaned off and once I have the bike off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have been waiting to see. God, this looks so cool. It's going to be awesome. But anyways, got the bike up, got it strapped up. I do need to figure out a little bit better of a way to strapping these down. I did not put a ton of force on the shocks. So, I mean, it's just tight enough. There's probably no more load on it than if I was riding it. So I have it up here, very sturdy, shakes a little bit, but that's kind of to be expected. The chalk, doing a pretty good job. I'm sure I got the bike pretty much as straight as I believe it can go. But this is so cool. It gives you such a better perspective of working on the bike, doing oil changes. I'm going to figure out a better way to strap this or where I can strap it. I might actually be able to strap it to where my frame sliders are because those are engine mounts, so that might work. Just, you don't want to push a lot of tension on these, just enough to kind of keep it where it's supposed to be. But you see, you can jack it up a lot higher than this. You can go like a few more inches, I'll show you. But I do want to be clear that you should not leave the bike all the way up on the jack, because the thing is that that's about max height right there. So that is max height right there. A little bit higher, you can see, but you don't want to leave the bike like this overnight or even honestly for a few hours. You want to stay on that black stop. Now, theory, you could work with it high. I would still leave that black stop in just in case the piston fails. But if you are planning on keeping this for a long time, you want to keep it on that black stop, because that black stop, that means that all the weight is going to be on that rod instead of your piston. You hear a lot of reviews of people saying, oh, well, my piston blew out after 2 years. It's like, well, they probably left it up high setting, or they didn't take the weight off the piston. It's the same thing with hydraulic jacks or pneumatic jacks where they have the mechanical stops on them. So, you want to make sure you take that weight off the bike. It also makes it a lot safer. God forbid you're working on this thing and for some reason the piston fails, you don't have anything on there, your hands or anything are near that, good luck. But overall, got this jack for Christmas. Very nice. You can take this off if you're going to store the bike or work on it for an extended period of time to make it easier. In theory, you probably could push the bike around the garage on this too. Probably wouldn't recommend it, but it's super cool. Very simple. It feels very sturdy up here. It rocks a little bit, but honestly, if I got a rear jack stand for the rear wheel, I bet that would probably smoothen all of that out, because at the point, you're really only connected about right here. I do have, it's weird because I don't know if I'm missing eye hooks, but when I got the jack, I need to find a different set of these, because apparently there should have been another set right there, but I only have 2 of them. But yeah, so looks awesome. Can't wait to use it to work on bikes. It's going to be really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave the comments down below.